Welcome back. It's now, just 10 minutes away from the qualifying session for the Canadian Grand Prix to set the grid for the main race. We had a cracking sprint race. The grid now will be, will it be as important as we think? We've got wet conditions. And now there's a balance to be had. Do you go for a full wet setup? Do you go for a dry setup? Do you go for a balance? Red Bull have said we're going full wet setup. By the looks of it, they're working heavily on the car of Max Verstappen, and that makes absolute sense to do that because, why would you not? Because the fact of the matter is that you've not got the fastest car in the grid, and if it does pour it down with rain and you've got the right setup, well, then you look like $1,000,000, and you're like top dog then, aren't you, with the right shoes on your feet. But so that should be really interesting and see how that one falls in the end. But the big one really is pole position for all the world. I think it should be a shootout between the two Red Bulls, to the two Mercedes. That looks like you take that for granted. But who's going to reign on top? Is it going to be Kimi Antonelli? Will George Russell do the job again? Is it as crucial? It definitely is crucial. It's a big deal, really, being the top man on pole position. If you can get into the first corner first, track position, as it's shown in that race, is crucial. Hopefully we get a full 22 cars out running on track for qualifying. Issues really. Isaac Hadjar had a problem with his car. Fernando Alonso was the only retirement. But if it was serious and they needed more time, then they could and probably should have and would have. I'm pretty sure they would have retired that car earlier just to make sure that they have got the car ready for qualifying. You don't want to miss this one. His car looked, his P14 from qualifying in sprint a little bit. It's hard to judge whether he would have been anywhere close to that. I think reality is probably not. But the timing of the crash meant that nobody else could pit in, and he would have started SQ2. I don't think that Aston Martin is anywhere near yet where it can jump into second qualifying, unfortunately for Fernando Alonso. Alex Albon, who never took part, he should take part. He obviously did the Grand Prix, but with a poor qualifying, or not even taking part in qualifying, it was always going to be a difficult race for him. But he was effectively setting the car up for qualifying in the race. That was his practice one, in effect, really, wasn't it, for Alex? So a big one coming up for him. I'm kind of really interested to see Ferrari, to be honest with you. They will be the ones. Lewis Hamilton looked like he could have been third. Did they underperform in qualifying or in sprint qualifying? I think so. In race pace, though, they were too hard on their tyres, as we've seen the way Oscar managed to close and pass Lewis Hamilton. Charles was never really pressuring Oscar Piastri in the same sense of the way that Oscar was hounding Lewis. I think it was the fact of Lewis holding Oscar up that let Charles, be so close to the back of Oscar Piastri. So they've got work to do, or they've had work to do in the break between the sprint and qualifying. So hopefully they've got on top of it, and we've got, a Ferrari that's in with a chance to be second row of the grid. Both of them, in fact. But if not, then I don't know which way I'd rather have it. You want the two Mercedes up at the front, considering how spicy it was in sprint, and you want to see more of the same in the main race. Will the McLarens keep them more honest than the Ferraris? But two Ferraris, if they get the third and fourth, they could work together, and one of them take a podium. I just think overall, I think in the race, McLaren will have enough. It looked like that from the sprint race. It looked like the order really is Mercedes, McLaren, Ferrari, and then obviously the Red Bulls, and then a bit of a gap to the rest, who at the moment it looks like, well, it was Arvid Lindblad in the Racing Bulls, and then the Williams of Carlos Sainz, but he'll have his partner with him in this session. So we could see a battle between the Williams and the Racing Bulls further down. So that'll be interesting, something to watch out for. Midfield battles. The Audis qualify really well, but they've got a huge problem getting off the grid. They cannot wait for this duo thing to come along, isn't it? Which is where we'll see at the end of Canada how much the engine manufacturers are giving in terms of 2 or 4%. Or if as long as they're 2 or 4% slower than the fastest engine, they'll get either 1 or 2 tokens for this season and next to fix their engine and to close the gap. Audi are the ones that really need to get their start sorted. They've again lost 4 and 5 places between them, or both of them, at the start of the sprint race. So despite them qualifying really well, which they have done, they're close enough to the top 10, sometimes breaking in. They could really do with fixing their starts, and I think it just comes down to their either the way they've designed their turbo or their engine, because clearly it sounds completely different to all the other engines, and also it's just not getting off the grid. So I think they've either gone for a massive turbo compared, and for the opposite end we've got Ferrari with a smaller turbo, which helped them get off on the line, and I think maybe it's something in between there. But that's Audi for you. They're just outside the top 10. Cadillac, I'll be interested to see where they line up. Sergio Perez had a blinding race. It's a shame we didn't get to see more of his race. I mean, to be fair, the action was pretty spicy up at the front, and then even the battle for 4th place was interesting throughout the whole race. Turn on... Oh, sorry, I've just got a note up today, something about hand gestures. Maybe I'm making too many hand gestures and something doesn't like. Anyway, we've got rid of it. But we're nearly there. 2 minutes now to qualifying 1. But again, it's going to be different. I think we'll get a different grid, and it'll come down to who's going to manage what where. Or set up really. Do they set up for the rain, or do they go for dry? I think there's going to be a balance to be had to make sure you win the race. You don't get any points on Saturday. Well, you do win a sprint race weekend, but you don't get any points on in qualifying, and you want to be the one that's got the best car for the race. Overtaking is possible here in Canada. Let me just shut my door. I don't know if you can hear noise coming from outside. Just let me back 1 sec. There we are. 1 minute 15 before we go. The Red Bull is ready of Max Verstappen. They were working heavily on that car. Like I said, it looked like they were gone. Apparently, they've gone for a wet setup. Not confirmed, obviously. I'm not going to tell you what they're doing, but it looks like that's the way that they're heading on that one. We'll see what the Mercedes boys do. That's the big one. Kimi Antonelli and George Russell. Do they go for 2 very different strategies in terms of car setup for the race? And then if I mean, we wouldn't know really. That's the problem, isn't it? And I guess we'll get all the questions of, even if Kimi Antonelli does take pole position, of, oh, I wonder if George is on the rain setup. And then if he wins, he'll say, yes, I was, and that's why qualifying was so bad. He's not going to tell us he had a bad lap, really, is he? Unless it was clearly a bad lap. They seem fairly honest nowadays, don't they, when they come out and give interviews, which I really like. They're not so gamesmanship as we've seen over the years. 3, 2, 1, qualifying is go, and we've got everybody's trying to get out. Alex Albon first, then we've got a racing Lawson, and then, well, them two never got a qualifying session, did they? The first out. Franco's coming out the grid. Oh, he had to slam on to avoid Fernando Alonso in the pit lane. It seemed a bit dramatic, that, to be honest. Was that a break-in like Fernando would do, just to exaggerate the fact that he had to brake and it's unsafe release? It'd be interesting if that comes up to the stewards and anything comes of that. But Alex and Lawson, Liam, who never took part in, they were eager to get out and get some tracks on, aren't they? Some laps on the board. What are we looking? Antonelli, Russell. Obviously, unlike the qualifying session for the sprint, you can pick whatever tyres you want, so it's not like medium, then soft for quality 1, 2, and then 3. You can just get straight on the softs and pump in the lap times. Get in the chat, guys. Who have you got for pole position? Do you think it's like me, a battle between the two Mercedes, or will McLaren spring a surprise? Will we see potentially the two Mercedes going for wet setups and McLaren or someone else goes for dries and gambles for the win? I guess that's the where you are if you're a McLaren, and maybe a Ferrari if it is that drastic a change and you go one way and completely the other. Is that what we're looking at? I think the performance gap that Mercedes have got at the moment, though, it does look like they will or are the top guys, aren't they, at the moment? But yeah, we lose the top or the bottom 6, so down to P17, P16, you're through. But yeah, predictions for that. It's getting hard, actually, for the predictions on that. I mean, you can bank on the Aston Martins going out. Alpine was out, and we lost Albon last time early doors, didn't we? Which made it very different. But the way the Cadillacs have gone, especially Sergio Perez, there's a chance, isn't it, that we get someone else dropping. I think Aston Martin really need to put their finger out a little bit at the moment. Fernando Alonso. Stroll released in a unsafe condition. Lance Stroll. It's not been a good weekend for him, has it? Homecoming. He's looked pretty miserable, to be fair. And you would say, oh, it's your home Grand Prix, cheer up, but there's not really much to cheer about in that Aston Martin outfit at the moment, is there? Oscar Piastri 15-1 hits the top. Liam Lawson way off at the moment, aren't we? Considering what was it, a 12-9, a 1 minute 12-9 for Lando Norris for pole position for sprint qualifying on Friday. Everyone else a low 1 minute 13s. So if you can smash it into, I mean, that's what we're looking at for pole position, isn't it? A late 1 minute 12 around here, really short lap here, but a really good one. I love this circuit. I kind of always have as well. I still remember years ago the absolutely horrific smash from Robert Kubica. He went flying, and I'm just glad he survived that one. And then obviously went rallying and hurt his finger, if you remember him, or his hand. He was a brilliant driver. But yeah, we've always had good racing around Montreal, and plenty of action down into that final chicane, and plenty of action out of that final chicane with the Wall of Champions. I actually watched that race when it happened and was gutted when it was Schumacher that joined Villeneuve and Damon Hill in that wall all in one race. And if you're watching and you know who was the other world champion that went in that wall, or was there even another world champion in that wall, where it was named the Wall of Champions, because it was three: Hill, Jacques Villeneuve, Damon Hill, Jacques Villeneuve, and Michael Schumacher. Lando Norris hits the top. 1:14.12. It's very early doors yet, isn't it? 12 minutes to go in this session. 12:05. Isaac Hadjar, no time. I hope he's not got the issues that we've seen in the sprint race still rumbling with him, and hopefully he can get out and we all get all 22 drivers here. Antonelli, fastest. No, he's not. Norris still top dog. Lewis, sixth. 6/10 down. Not the great lap, is it? Leclerc, 15th. Oh, that doesn't look like a 16.3. The problem we have now is that, like we've seen even at the end of SQ3, was you think they've done the lap, but because of the tyres are here, you can actually just just go on and do another lap. And quite a few actually went faster, which was really interesting. Hello, Kim Phoenix. Kimi Phoenix 2336. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy the watch along. Who have you got for pole position? Kim Phoenix 2336. Appreciate the comment. It's a McLaren 1-2. 8 thousandths. Lando Norris ahead of Oscar Piastri. He's done a solid lap. I'm sure that might change yet, but it's 2 McLarens by 2 Mercedes. George Russell 2/10 back. I mean, like we say, very, very early doors. Charles still not putting a lap. It's not looking good for Charles. Really struggled this weekend. It's not been his usual self, has he? I mean, I know he said he's not been happy on the braking, and this circuit is basically brakes and traction. 2 things you need around this circuit, and a power unit that will push you pretty quickly down that long straight. Well, we've got Max Verstappen. It's gone fastest. 14.0. We've got Kimi Antonelli 13.3. Isaac Hadjar 13.6. And then George Russell a 13.9. He's 6/10 off Kimi Antonelli. What is going on there? 8 minutes 4:11 to go. That's a lap from Kimi Antonelli, isn't he? He's directed his anger in the right direction. I'll be listening to you while I watch. I can't hear Crofty anymore. He drives me nuts. That's interesting, that. He seems to wind up quite a few people, doesn't he? Crofty. What I don't like is and I'm British, but I don't quite like the British bias. That's what annoys me. And there's sometimes really daft comments of, it's like, oh, we're not watching the same thing, are we, Crofty? But he does have some special moments. Got to give it to him. The through goes Hamilton in Silverstone was, I think he did a good job there. But anyway, enough about him. Lindblad going well. P12. The two racing bulls, 12th and 13th. When you see two teammates side by side, you know they've done a good job, haven't they? It's not like one's done a bad job and one's not. 13-8. Arvin Lindblad, P3. I complained to Sky about him a few years ago. They ignored me. Jeez, he must have really irritated you. I'd like to know what he actually said that got you so wound up. You put in a Sky complaint. Oh, hilarious. Brilliant. Half a second, Lindblad. Hadjar, 0.2 off Kimi Antonelli at a 13.3. I mean, we're still 0.3 off the fastest, like we've seen in sprint qualifying for pole position. But will we get slightly slower times? Because I imagine they are going to have mixed setups, like I said, isn't it? I keep saying that. We don't know exactly. I quit my subscription for a while. Fair enough. Where are you watching from, Kim? Phoenix? Is that Phoenix, US? Phoenix. Or is that Sky? Well, Sky subscription. I guess you're UK, aren't you? Just me being dumb. Or thinking I've got a US audience. You never know. No further investigation. Good. Lewis Hamilton is the fastest Ferrari. He's close, actually, from 3rd to 6th. There's a 10th. Throw a blanket over them. There's nothing. Melbourne, Oz. Okay. Don't know nothing about that. Apart from the Australian Grand Prix is in Melbourne. And it's a good race and very far from me. But thanks for joining, watching. Massively appreciated. 5 minutes to go. Charles Leclerc on a run. Come on, Charles. I think he's been one of the worst affected by these 26 regulations. Oh, a bit of a massive wobble coming out of that chicane before he heads down to the hairpin. A piece of my car has come off. Ollie Berman. That's not good. Oh, the two Ferraris getting... Oh, have they ruined each other's lap? Oh, died. Come on, Ferrari. You're better than that. Who are you cheering for, Phoenix? Kimi? I'll call you Kimi. Kimi Antonelli. Ferrari, yeah. Come on, Charlie. I think like I was going on about before I distracted myself. I think Charles Leclerc has been the most affected by the 26 regulations and the way that you run these cars, because he was an absolute quali specialist, and I've not heard someone, despite going well, actually really complain about how crap the regulations are. He's been the one that's really been hit the hardest, because he was saying, you know, he hit that level when you watch my video, which I talk about it, where he's after Japan, where it's, they've ruined racing and killed the DNA. I want Yuki back, but I like Charles. Oh, Yuki was a legend. It's a shame it doesn't really come off for him, did it? Red Bull. It just never had a run of a couple of good races where you thought, yeah, he's got something to build on from here, and they can see a direction where he can, really challenge. And I think genuinely he got that seat a year too early. He needed it this year, where it's completely different car and not Max Verstappen's car in the same sense. It's never is Max Verstappen car, but it'd been there 4 years. The only driver that's been there 4 years and fully developed with that car. Every other driver's jumped in and out, and Yuki getting in that seat was always on the back foot. And the side pod's coming off Haas, but as I talk about that. Yeah, you say it was never going to work as Max's team. It could have worked this year, though, Kimi, 100%. Look at Isaac Hadjar. He's been so close to Max Verstappen this season, and has he done a really good job and everybody else did a bad job, or the car was so difficult? It was, Max was brilliant. And it really worked because Max on the nose was brilliant. But yeah, Yuki was brilliant at racing bulls. He wiped the floor with Liam Lawson, didn't he? And pretty much everyone else that put up alongside him. But again, he was another guy that at racing bulls, he was a consistent one. So he knew the car and how it developed. Whereas the second seat was the revolving seat for Yuki. And I think ultimately for Yuki, just like I say, he just got that seat 1 year too early. I kind of really wish he'd got it this year, to be honest with you. And if Lawson, it's a shame that he was so bad, and you're an Aussie, and I don't know if you support Lawson, fellow Aussie, but he wasn't great. And to be fair, it was really harsh to give him just 2 races. Don't get me wrong, he had 2 bad races. He was last, and comfortably last, and just seemed to be lost of all confidence. But then he absolutely smashed that confidence by taking a race off him after 2 races, which is beyond ridiculous. And victim of circumstances, the boss that sacked him got sacked not long into that season either, did he? So it's the way it goes. Oh shit, he is. Lawson is from New Zealand. That was very dumb of me, isn't it? Why have I thought that? Because I just thought it's Oscar Piastri I'm bloody thinking about, because I thought Webber was his... Mark Webber, the brilliant Australian, was his team manager for some daft reason, but he wasn't. Forgive me, I'm losing my mind. Same part of the world. Close enough. Kimi Antonelli, top dog, 13-3 with 3 seconds to go in Q1. The battle, Nico Hulkenberg needs a lap. P18, he qualified P11. What's happened to the Audis? 16th and this 17th and 18th. Albon just going through at the stands. Fernando Alonso over the line, 18th. We need to box Charles box. Did we break something? Kopu will check the car. Oh, Charles. It's not looking good, that is it? Hulkenberg does the job. What can we make sure we... Oh, yeah, that was gutted. Still spitting chips. That's a very Aussie phrase, isn't it? I've never heard of spitting chips here in the UK. Either that or I've not been out very much. Which actually today I haven't. It's just been 3 live streams. So the victims of Q1. Valtteri Bottas last. Lance Stroll. Oh, horrible lockup from Valtteri. He's had it's not a very good time. A non-sugary time, isn't it? He's just had it's like a fat, flat Pepsi, that, isn't it? Just not good for Valtteri. Oh, Lance. Ooh, he nearly ended up a wall as Fernando. Bortoletto by the skin. Bottas last. Stroll 21st. Perez 20th. Alonso 19th. Out-qualifies his teammate again, and no surprise there. Alex Albon 18th when your teammate is in P10. Granted, he missed P1, but he had the sprint race to get to grips with the car, and it's not gone well for him, has it? That's a shame for Alex Albon. Esteban Ocon. He had a decent qualifying yesterday. Not so much today, is he? He's been out qualified by his teammate again. Reports that Komatsu as well actually denied, saying there was a bust up between him and Ocon. I mean, Ocon hasn't been performing, has he? Whether that's how true that will be, who knows? But he's not performed. Did he need that kick up the bum to get a performance? It was good in sprint qualifying, not quite so good here, has it? Out again, but the two Audis in, as are the two Alpines, and then just the one Haas. Liam Lawson, star of that session really has to be Arvid Lindblad. He's got really well, Arvid. First time he's here. The groundhog did destroy Alex's weekend, but are we? I just feel like that's a bit of a cop out, isn't it? In some ways, he's had a whole sprint race, and he did get half of a practice. Granted, he missed qualifying as well. Maybe he's had a whole qualifying session, a whole sprint race as Alex Albon to get it right, and he's not, sadly. I actually like Alex as well, so I'm not being a prat and just shitting on him whilst he's down. Albon sweet. He does look a bit of a softie, doesn't he? So far, Antonelli will be impressed with that lap, isn't he? 6/10 to George Russell. He's used his fire from the sprint in the right direction. And surprisingly, we've got then two McLarens and a Red Bull of Isaac Hadjar and not Max Verstappen. Max P9. Will he be on the edge for Fernando Alonso, giving someone a wave? Oh, Fernando. Yeah, got blocked, but I don't think. What was the gap? 4/10. He was never going out, was he? But he might have gained a position. Fernando Alonso. He's blocked by. Hey, I'm a chick. I guess you can call Albon sweet. I'm not sure I can get away with saying that. Gabby, less than a 10th to get into Q. What's surprising, and it is shocked because we never get this when we get new regulations, is how close the grid is. How close it's got really quickly as well. Whenever we get new regulations, there's always sort of one team that's miles ahead. You're not a Fernando. How can you not be a Fernando fan? Alonso is, I don't know. I guess he's one of them, isn't it? I've realized a few people kind of don't get Fernando Alonso. I absolutely love the guy and have done from. I wasn't a massive Lewis fan until I did just really like him once Shuey left because I didn't know who else to support. For 2007 and killing Lewis. I kind of like that because a Ferrari won, and I was a Ferrari man at that time. With obviously lost when Schumacher retired, and was still supporting a Ferrari. And what Kimi won, didn't he? It's good racing. I blame Ron Dennis for that. He didn't manage it very well, did he? Between the two McLaren boys. I think it might have been a different story if Toto Wolff was in charge there. We've seen him come on the radio with Antonelli, 4th time, he said. Ron was a bit different, wasn't he? But F1 was different ball game there. That stunt from Alonso was bad. Not a Lewis fan either. Fair. Maybe I'm being biased. I loved it. Maybe because the Ferrari won. I was happy either way. But had Lewis won it, 2007 was debut season, won a championship on debut. Unreal, that. I mean, he's a special talent to get 7, 8. But for another man, and to win on a debut season or to come close was absolutely, we knew we had a megastar in our hands there, didn't we? But like him or not. Schumacher will forever be my favourite driver. Of course he will. You will like this then, because he's my favourite driver. Schumi forever. Simply the best, simply Schumi. Just leave that around, isn't it? And now that you've got a proper Schumi fan on chat. Q2 has started. I get carried away with my Schumi fanboy. Imagine Schumi doing a Shui. Now that is an Aussie that started that trend, isn't it? Danny Rick, I loved him as well as a character. Sadly, not quite the best F1 driver, but he was pretty solid and absolute bang-on character. Gross. So, 6 more down. Neither would I. Anything out my shoe would be nasty. Just the whole concept is a bit gross. Probably inspired by the I'm a celebrity in the Aussie jungle, isn't it? They eat all sorts of weird stuff, so I guess he just thought I'd drink something weird. Oh man, race you an hour and a half. Oh geez, I've just ate as well. 12 minutes. This is the one really, isn't it, where we see them set themselves. This is the one where they want to be close up to the top. McLarens are looking strong. So does Kimi Antonelli. And I'm hoping it's not rain and dry setup. That's just eating away in my head now that I've sat there. And I hope it's not like Miami where they were waiting for this downpour, and it kind of really never came, and it would just ruined. Well, it didn't ruin the race. It was always there as a tantalizing little teaser of rain. Franco. Oh, that is a lap. 13.6. It was a 13.3 for Antonelli in Q1, but I mean it was just Q1. Solid lap. Oh no, it's 14.0. That's Hadjar with a 13.6. I can't bloody read either. 13.2 Norris, 13.4 Piastri. Pumping in the laps now. Norris. Nice out that final chicane. It looked like he gave that some beans. 13-2. That was a lap. I'm a bit off actually here with what I'm watching and what my times are doing. I'll just go for what I'm watching. I need to sync that up, I think. Lewis. We're still getting this sort of clipping, aren't we? Just before that chicane, it's sort of lift. Because the way they attack that final chicane is not second fastest. Nothing between Lewis and Norris, is it? Shaw, what's he got? No, not a good lap. Shaw is nowhere near at the moment, isn't he? George Russell through the final chicane. Purple for Kimi Antonelli. Russell 3/10. What? It's only P4 for Russell. Antonelli a 13-0. Not quite into the 12, but close enough. I mean, he's got... I wonder what he'll pull off in the queue. He's going to go faster yet, isn't he? They normally do in the track will ramp up, so... I think we'll beat the sprint qualifying pole time. If what we normally see in terms of track conditions. Yeah, 8 minutes to go. We'll get another run. It's a Kaja. Not really there, is it? Max over the line. 5th. Max Verstappen. Hadjar, what a lap. A 10th. That's some pace. We've not seen that pace for, well, all weekend. He's 3/10 to Max Verstappen. Isaac Hadjar. Bit of a comeback weekend for him so far, isn't he? He's been a lot closer to Max Verstappen compared to what we've seen over the year. Compared to Miami, at least. Start of the season, he was right there, level with Max, wasn't he? And Miami, where you thought, oh, could he now, Max, be that dominant force? But Isaac doing it. 3rd. It's close. 2/10 between 1st and 4th. Charles Leclerc. Yeah, it's just way before it's decelerating under the bridge. We're still getting the clipping. Not as bad as what we've seen in another Grand Prix. I think Japan was one of the worst for some reason. 9th. Charles, has he gone for complete rain setup and he's just thought, forget it? But if you're starting that way, it's... Max complaining, I can't come get my tires in the window. Like, compared to yesterday, the outlap is like I'm driving on ice. I've got Antonelli, that's my pick. Since that argument after the sprint, he just looks like, I don't know, he's channeled his anger in the right direction. I've got Kimi Antonelli for this pole position, and I'd be a bit gutted if he doesn't get it either as well. I've actually really taken to Kimi Antonelli. He's one of the few. Isaac Hadjar grown on me over the course of last season as a rookie. And Antonelli. Kimi will win the champion this year. If he does it, oh, boy, will that be an achievement. It's a mega challenge. If you look at his career of how he's got to here, it's mega impressive. There's not many that have done that. And then the record of 3 poles, 3 wins. Was the second driver to ever, or the first only driver to ever do that? Impressive. It was Shuey and Senna, the other ones to do 2 back to back, weren't they? But he's really taken to this car as Kimi. The way he drives it as well is what's unique. And I think I'm doing what I did with Oscar last year, and that's why I'm cautious of saying he'll win the World Championship. I thought Oscar would win the World Championship over Lando Norris, and I'm still a bit gutted he didn't. He deserved it anyway. But the winner deserves it. I guess he did the job when it mattered over the whole season. Oscar will be back. I hope so. Not quite been at it with Lando Norris so far, has he yet? It's been very, very close to him in some races, but not quite beating Norris. This year is Kimi's. Let's hope so. I don't think I could hack it if George won it. I think I'd be actually quite annoyed. 3.5 to go. Liam Lawson. He's got his last personal best middle and a poor personal best first sector and a poor middle sector, isn't it? Lawson, he's still not through. 13th. He's not anywhere near. Not anywhere near Arvid Lindblad. He's a second. That's nice. Car's clearly there. Just Lawson's not there. Charles on an outlap. I think everyone's safe, bar. What's the gap? Is your stream at the live mark? The delay is nearly a minute. I believe so. I've refreshed everything that I could. What I'm watching is at 2 minutes, 11 seconds as I speak right now. And the other one is at 1 minute and 33. So I'm talking off what I'm watching over what's on the actual timings screen, which is a bit annoying, and I can't figure out how to sync the two up. But I'll get there for the next one somehow. Yeah, about 30 seconds, and I don't know how to. Try to delay that. I don't know if that did it. Clearly not enough. Lewis, top man. That's impressive. George coming over the line. Thank you. 3rd place. Less than half a tenth between Hamilton, Antonelli, and Russell. Verstappen 7th. Hadjar's on a lap. Who came out that last corner there? Was just starting a lap by the looks of it. Isaac, top man. Where's he put that? Where has Hadjar pulled that time from? A 12.9. That was pole lap for sprint. Jeez, if Red Bull nick this, that'll be impressive. What a turnaround that'd be. I mean, they've done it and they've proven they can do that in the last few years, haven't they? Where they've had absolutely shockers and then they've just come and, or Max has come and nicked pole. Well, could we get a surprise from Isaac? He's had a little bit of unluck as well, hasn't he, so far this season? It's been his car with the reliability problems generally. He's had a decent season. Leclerc, just 8th. I don't know what's going on with Charles Leclerc. He's absolutely nowhere. And I'm hopeful that it's just gone. He's gone for a wet weather setup. Gasly out. Berman out. Not a good one for the Haas. Berman 16th. Sainz 15th. That'd be disappointing. He was 10th in the sprint qualifying. 15th is it's a difficult race from there, especially with the way the DRS train works. Pierre Gasly in 14th. That's a bit of a surprise, isn't it? Franco Colapinto, we said he was looking a new man in Miami, and he's out-qualified his teammate again in Canada. Brilliant job from Franco to get up into the top 10. The two Audis, 13th and 11th. Gabby, will he be disappointed? Probably, because he's wanted to be right behind his teammate. Them two have been close. But Nico can pull off a lap. He's not done that for much of this season, so it's good to see Nico Hülkenberg back fighting with his teammate and closer and beating him, because early in the season it was the Gabby Bortoleto show, wasn't it? Especially when it came to qualifying. Hülkenberg gave up his lap, did he? Probably wasn't on a good one, was he? Let's see the bad last sectors. I mean, there's only 300ths between Hülkenberg and Colapinto. That's tight. And that's what I'm talking about. I mean, it's a 13.8 between 10th to 12th. And it's a 13.857 to 13.88 and a 13.89. That splits 3 positions. And that's crazy when we've got a new regulation set, that we've got qualifying that's split by such small gaps. Isaac Hadjar, top dog. That came out of nowhere. Nearly a 10th of a second, but just under ahead of Lewis Hamilton. 13.4. 13.4041 for Lewis, a 13.049 for Norris, and a 13.076 Antonelli, a 13.079 for Russell. I mean, that's insane level of close. Insane level of closeness between the top 4 and anybody that's barely nothing. You can be 5th and really disappointed with your qualifying session, or 2nd and be really happy. And it's probably because you've braked like half a meter later into the hairpin. You're splitting hairs here at the moment. This is the way we like to see it. It's looking promising. I mean, I was saying it's looking promising for Kimi Antonelli, and now I'm doubting myself. I thought Kimi was bang on for pole, but we've got a surprise from Isaac Hadjar with that lap to get into the 12.9s. That's, if you get the lap right, that's pole position times, isn't it? If we are going off, obviously, the sprint qualifying time, which I'm sure we'll do faster than that. P8, Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc, completely off the place, completely off the pace. Q3 is either in the wall or P8. We need to make sure we get clean air. That's Charles Leclerc. That's not bloody good reading, is it, if you're a Charles Leclerc fan? Franco Colapinto having a little giggle to himself with that top 10. He can be pretty impressive with that. Good job. Ahead of his teammate, Pierre Gasly. Doing a lap, showing the lap of Isaac Hadjar. Nice and clean into turn 1. Nice through turn 2. It's not really correcting much there, is it? Which is what they're generally looking at on the steering wheel. Turn 6 one was the first time in the lap where we've seen him have to fight the car a little bit on the lap. Under the bridge. Turn 9. Oh, a snap on the way out. Snap on the way out. That's not nice. Hairpin. That was a nice. The hairpin would look good, to be fair. And then he's got that huge letterbox to open as he throws off a visor tear off. Chicane, he was close up to the barrier, wasn't he? Ladjar with leads Q2, but he doesn't get your pole position, does it? We're now just... Oh... Not far to go. Green track is clear for qualifying. The big one. Get butterflies for this. Got butterflies for Q3 and the start of a race. Don't know why. Can't help it. Oh, I'm on edge. Who's got it? It's hard to pick. I hope it's Kimi Antonelli over George Russell. Come on, Kimi. Ferrari targeting a tow, according to Bernie. They need it to get the extra speed down the straight. That's where they're struggling a little bit. In the corners is where they're great. Obviously, it's that small turbo which doesn't help them with the top end on the straights. Charles asking for clear air, though, and they're talking about having needing a tow for the first straight line speed. That's a bit... I'll be happy too if Kimi gets pole. I'll be delighted. It'd be amazing if we get Isaac Hadjar on pole, though. That would just be like shock of the century, wouldn't it? Out of all of them, we're always looking at Max, aren't we, in that Red Bull? I bet Max wish he was still on the Nordschleife, doesn't he? He looked absolutely mega around there. If you've not watched it, watch it. 24 hours was absolutely incredible if you've not watched it. The 12 hours or the night shift of Max Verstappen and watching that car fly was... Hadjar would cry. I'd probably cry with him. It's just... that would be, yeah. That would be impressive. 10 minutes to go, 2 laps. This is it. You want a strong banker. Well, we've seen before actually in the last couple of races, hasn't it? It's the first run that's got pole position, and on that second run, they're just not seeming to get that extra bit of lap time out of it. Is that just purely because of the way the 26 car works? It's all about take the emotion out and be a robot, and that gets you the best lap time, isn't it? It's not about that extra bit, extra slightly long break in, slightly, more aggressive in the corner. You're losing it. It's about being clinical in these cars, which is kind of why everybody can't wait to see the back of them. But we get some good racing. .6 is Max Verstappen. 20.5 is half a tenth off Isaac Hadjar's time for purple sector. .23.2 in the middle sector. That's nowhere near really that. Lost all his time in the middle sector, Max Verstappen. .13.4. Aja 13. No, it's 13.9. That's a poor lap from Isaac Hadjar. Piastri 13.0. Norris over the line 12.7. He's Lewis. Well, he's close to that wall on the outside. Oh, just a 10th. Lewis. She's about my song. What level is done with F1? Otherwise, I won't stop whinging. Are you an old school F1 fan, Kimi? I guess if you watch 27, you probably are. Oh, Russell aborts the lap. That's interesting. Antonelli is going to cross the line. 4th. 3/10 down. This is a turnaround, isn't it? We've got Mercedes going for... Started loving F1 in 94. Well, I started in 98, 99. And cried when Shuey lost it in 98 and broke his leg in 99. And then down on my knees and praying in 2000 when Murray Walker said it. A few grey hairs since then, though. 6 to go. Everybody's done their bankers. It's not. That's. I think you don't want to be in George Russell's shoes. It's all or nothing now. What's going on with this Max? What's going on with the straight line speed? It's completely poo. Yeah, still pray for Shumi. Absolutely. Russell's going again. Given it is a short lap, he's got a half chance of getting a lap in and being last one over the line right at the end. Be tight if he's going to do that, though, and I'm surprised if he just wants to run on these tyres to the last. Where are the fast, cool, fast? It's interesting how these tyres work now. Ferrari man. Well, it looks like he's making love to that tyre blanket. It must be cold. Getting some heat out of the tyre. Ferrari man. And Lewis Hamilton. McLaren have come to the fore, haven't they? Q3. Oh, Russell is just... No, it's not a fast lap. He's still warming up his tyres. Who's out? A Red Bull's come out. Verstappen. Isaac was a second slower than his previous lap time. So he's got a lot of time to find. Arvid P7. He's taking the place of Hardjar, really, isn't he? Four minutes to go. Is everyone getting out? Is it? I think we're going to get similar to what we thought in sprint, didn't we? Where we thought everyone had gone over the line, but they carried on for another lap. So we might get that surprise. Well, I thought the grid was set, but it wasn't. George, yeah, this looks like a lap started for George. He does go well around here. Russell. Sector 1. Bit down on Norris. Three minutes to go. I mean, he can do this, a cool, and go again. 3 minutes, touch and go. Close to the wall. Up to the head. 10th down. Russell. Oh, got close to the exit there on the hairpin. Decent exit out that hairpin. George Russell. Steals a bit of a toe. That'll help him. Good exit out of that hairpin as well. Important. Oh, looked like he went a little bit deep into that chicane. 2.5 tenths off. Where's that pace gone in the Mercedes? Verstappen 7th, 10th down. Max Verstappen. Russell currently is P3. We've got Kimi. He's wiggling around. Are they struggling to get tire temperature in suddenly? One minute 50. This is proper lap. Kimi, this is the lap for Kimi. He's only got this one. He hasn't got time to do a slow and then get around again. It's going to happen now or it's not. Oh, he's up. That's it. Started how we wanted it to. At least start ahead of Russell. Can do that. You can do it. Shaw was a good first sector. Lewis, a poor first sector, 10th down. It's not a great middle sector from Antonelli, but a personal best. But it's 22 thousandths. Oh, poor Charles Leclerc, middle sector, 2 tenths down on Norris now. Oh, looking at Hamilton's time, it just disappeared. Kimi over the line. Oh, yes! Sorry for the shouting. For now, anyway. He's ahead of George Russell, at least. To Charles Leclerc, 4th. Lewis Hamilton. Oh, is Hamilton. Lewis has gone. Lewis 2nd. Lewis was doing well. Was Russell personal best? Fuck, he's got a lap 22.9. P5. Isaac. Russell. Oh, he looked like he was correction out there. George Russell over the line. He's done it. Verstappen 6. Oh, George Russell. It's almost exactly the same gap between Russell and Antonelli. I'm sure it's 68 thousandths between them in sprint qualifying. It's almost exactly the same gap between the pair of them, isn't it? Again. Oh, George, you can be happy with that one. He's nicked pole position right at the end. And it is 2 Mercedes, 2 McLarens, a Ferrari, and then the 2 Red Bulls, and then a Ferrari. It's the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc that's let everyone down. Let's see that. Oh, he went onto the grass, Lewis. It wasn't a bit. Oh, shit. Not a great lap from Lewis. Oh, I thought you would have. Hats off to George. Credit where it is due. Not going to be a sore loser. Disappointing. But is it good enough? He's nicked it. Top 10. George Russell, pole position. I'll be hoping to convert that for a win, and it'd be a brilliant weekend for him if he can take a sprint win, pole, and a win for the main race. But he's got a battle on his hands with his teammate Antonelli right behind him. Lando Norris, P3, just ahead of Oscar Piastri, them two being close. Lewis Hamilton in 5th, 12.8, didn't get that final lap in. Again, I think he'll be kicking himself. There might be a little bit more out of that car. The Ferraris looked tricky to handle in the corners, as it definitely did for Lewis Hamilton. He'll be in. I don't know if he's going to have enough in him. Again, he needs a good start to get past one or both of the McLarens, but they have been flying off the start of the 2 McLarens. And to be fair, Mercedes looked quick off the line in the sprint, but, there's always room for a mistake, or was that a fluke to get it right? Max Verstappen, P6. He's only just ahead of his teammate Isaac Hadjar. A 12.93 for Isaac and a 12.907 for Max Verstappen. Max really not happy with that car, but when that happens, he still managed to pull off the lap in years gone by, but not with this car. And Isaac really, really close behind him. Charles Leclerc, P8 to 12.9. I mean, he's only a 10th behind Lewis Hamilton, but he was really not happy with that car at all, was he? And that's all it is 1/10. It's next to nothing, really. A 10th would normally mean you're just 1 place behind, but now you're 3 places back with the way these cars are going. Lindblad, another P9. He can be really happy with that. Finished the sprint in P8, so continues the good run, and he's got himself in a good chance for some points in the race tomorrow. Franco Colapinto rounds off the 10, and he can be very, very happy with that. Clearly not as fast as the guys up ahead of me. He's 4 tenths behind Arvid Lindblad, and we've seen that in the sprint race as well, where he was in a little bit of a no man's land. Arvid not fast enough to be catch the guys in front, but not really under the pressure from the guys behind. But it might rain tomorrow, and we could have seen cars that just have got rain set up, or they've not got rain set up, and yeah, we'll see. Listen to the drivers, listen to George. Not an easy session. He's got a big smile on his face. There was challenge after sprint. Made some changes as a team. They've made some changes as a team. Not sure if that's the right direction, said Lord Norris. Then got a lap out of nowhere. That's what he said. Interesting that from George. They've gone in the wrong direction. He thinks he should have been faster because there's nothing in it. I mean, it is 2 tenths in it, but just under 2 tenths in it. And it looked like comfortably a Mercedes with their upgrade were 3-4 tenths faster than everybody else, but it's not quite there. Kimi Antonelli, the P2, let's see what he's got to say. Last lap. Kimi, tyres getting him difficult, getting him in the right window. Pretty happy. Feels like there's speed left on the table. Kimi will see what he can do tomorrow. We'll see what the weather's going to be like. We could get our first wet race of 26. How will the tyres work? I mean, we seem to only have one tyre, isn't it? So that's the intermediate. Norris felt he did a good job. Difficult lap to put everything perfectly. Did another good job. Norris happy he was closer to the Mercedes than he was yesterday. I've got to take the positive where you can. In the race, we see the two Mercedes fight. They could let a McLaren in, and I think that's what Russell or Norris will be hoping for. McLaren's shown good race pace, despite Norris saying that he thought the two Mercedes, with the pace that they had at the start of the sprint, would have been 10 seconds clear, and it's the fighting between the two Mercedes that let them in. But it wasn't as if George was scampering away. Was George being tactical? Apparently he was. But he might just be saying that just to bluff the McLarens. Obviously, they've got a whole race to go ahead. Yet he doesn't want to give where they are completely for that. But I mean, early doors, they were absolutely scampering away, weren't they? The two Mercedes, 2 or 3 seconds on them within 2-3 laps. But is that just because they get the tyres warmed up, and the McLarens, like we know, are lighter on their tyres? So there's obviously mixed conditions, the first wet race of the season, and we've seen actually them all actually being really scared to drive these cars in the rains in the way that the power is delivered through the battery. So that was one of the big concerns for Miami. We looks like we could get that here, and we didn't get a safety car in the sprint race, and I'll be super surprised if we don't get a safety car in the main race. So that could split strategy. So still an awful lot to play for. It should be a good race. The sprint was absolutely brilliant, and I'm hopeful that that's not just the highlight of this weekend. But we have it. The two Mercedes boys up at the front. Then comes the two McLarens. Ferrari, I'm not sure. I don't think they'll be fighting the McLarens, and I think it'll be a bit of a boring race for him in no man's land. Charles Leclerc, no pace. He's gone backwards from sprint. Only hope there is that he's gone for a full wet setup, but we know Max Verstappen and the team have done that. So I don't see where or how he'll move up potentially. Isaac has done well before in wet conditions. Obviously dropped it in Melbourne on debut, wasn't it? But he's had good races since then. It looks like it'll be a tough one for them. And ninth, Lindblad. And he's just got to hope for a solid, clean race. And I'm pretty sure he'll pick up points considering how he did it in the sprint race. But yeah, there we have it. Grid set. It looks set to be a cracker. I will be on for the race tomorrow, 9. I'll be kicking off about 10 to 9, 8:50, or 8, yeah, about 8:50. Normally about 10 minutes just before lights out. So thank you, Kimi, for keeping me entertained. I hope I entertained you with your questions, and we can watch the race along tomorrow. Massively appreciated. I hope I catch you then as well, Kimi. So really appreciate you watching along, and especially because you're a super Schumi fan, which just makes it even more better for me. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Please like, subscribe, comment. As always, much appreciated. See you on the next one. Take care.